Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're just joining me, my name is Cora. I am the mama to a 17-month-old baby girl named Eva, and I am currently 26 and a half weeks pregnant with baby girl number 2. So that's my big gender reveal. I've been wanting to do some cute gender reveal, and ultimately I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to tell everyone. So we are having a baby girl, and we could not be more excited to have 2 little girls. I'm so excited to see Evie as a big sister and to get to reuse all the baby girl stuff we have. And I love little girls. So I'm so thrilled to know that we are having another baby girl. So there's been so much going on since my last pregnancy update. There's so much to catch you all up on. So I will just get right into it, starting with the baby stats. Right now, baby is 14.4 inches long, which is incredible. We're over a foot. So baby's getting so big. I just love thinking of that. It's amazing because I can really tell as as baby kicks, I can feel it really from one side completely to the other side. And that is amazing to me when I can just feel how big baby has gotten. She is 1.93 pounds, so we're almost at 2 pounds, and I can really tell. It's always a rough estimate when you see on an app or you look up on any of the websites. Every baby is different at this point. They're really starting to differentiate, and so it's hard to say exactly, but I've really noticed a big growth spurt recently. My belly has gotten big. I have really popped out, and I can just tell the weight of her and the weight in my pelvis. The other symptom, shortness of breath, without a doubt. Whoa. I am out of breath all the time, and that coupled with nose. I know I'm jumping from baby stats to my symptoms, so I apologize. But my nose is so swollen on the inside. I'm just having real trouble being out of breath and getting my breath. So I apologize for that. It's going to probably be all throughout the video. So sorry. Anyway, this week marks the end of the 2nd trimester, which I can't get over. I'm over the 2nd trimester. So I will be in the 3rd trimester. The 3rd and final round, and I'm so excited to be in that stage of pregnancy because everything from this point out gets safer. Of course, every week that you get closer to that due date is safer, but right now I believe baby has somewhere in the 80s to 90% chance of survival. What's still developing right now is the lungs, the brain, and the immune system. Of course, everything is still developing, but those are the main things that are really working right now. And so those are the things that really help baby thrive, obviously. And so I'm really glad that those are the things that are happening and growing now, and that the body is focused on developing. And I'm just happy to be in a little bit of a safer stage if anything were to happen and I were to go into preterm labor. Let's see, baby is practicing sucking, so just getting prepared for all that nursing, all that new time that's about to happen. Oh my God, I am dreading, oh my gosh. I had the hardest time with Eva in the beginning with breastfeeding. Not that she had trouble, but I was so sore. I mean, all the TMI stuff that I just don't even care. I will say, you know, like the bleeding, the bleeps. Am I the only person who's had a bleep? It's horrible. Oh my God, it's like a blister on your nipple. It's the worst pain I've ever, and then trying to nurse through it. It's like, trying to nurse through. So baby's sucking that hard on a blister. I mean, it's excruciating, and so anyway, I'm looking forward to all of these things coming back. It's gonna be very interesting. Anyway, so yeah, And I think that's kind of all. The uterus is close to the rib cage, which I will actually show you guys. You can really see, which is also contributing to the shortness of breath, but the uterus has gotten much, much higher now. Now, as far as my symptoms, even though I've been through some of those already in this conversation, I am dizzy. Dizziness is pretty high. I'm dizzy all the time. I would say I get dizzy probably 5 to 6 times a day. I have to sit down and all that head rush and just let it pass. I have energy. I've been feeling pretty energized as long as I'm sleeping well. The problem is that I'm not sleeping well most nights due to heartburn. And so that is something I struggled with so much in my first pregnancy, and it's just as bad, if not worse, sooner in this pregnancy. I just am absolutely just tortured by it at night. So much so that I end up awake not most of the night, but awake for a good amount of the time at night. I end up propping my head up and sleeping with my head against the back of the headboard. I end up with trying 2 pillows at a time, taking Tums. I'm taking a daily antacid as well. And nothing really works with the acid actually coming up, because everything is just loosened. And so the acid, like the flap or whatever that keeps acid in your tummy, I guess, from my understanding, that's what's kind of loosened, so the acid just comes up. And so it's hard because that just makes me not be able to sleep, and then I'm tired. So anyway, that's my biggest struggle. That's the hard one for me. Lower back pain, I'm gonna have that. I always suffer with that during pregnancies because of scoliosis. And then anxiety, and that's something I want to talk about. I have anxiety when I'm pregnant, and I don't hear people talk so much about it. I have a couple times, but it's not like generalized anxiety. I'm not anxious all the time, but I just feel like my emotions are heightened, which of course is because of the hormones, but it's like if I'm usually between like a 3 and a 7, and I kind of stay in that range. When I'm pregnant, it's more like between a 1 and a 9. And it's because I am always worried that something I'm doing could harm the baby. I'm just, afraid of what I'm eating. I'm afraid, like, if it's produce, has it been washed enough? If it's meat, is it cooked enough? Is the cheese pasteurized? Is it, my mom got a pizza from an Amish farm, and I ate some, and it wasn't all the way cooked, and I just panicked because I thought, what if the cheese wasn't pasteurized, and what if, or what if it wasn't cooked well enough? And then, then I look stuff up on Dr. Google, and then instead of having my fears, instead of feeling better, I feel so much worse and more anxious. And it's just things like that. And then, when life kind of throws curves these days, it's just harder for me not to take things hard. It's just not my norm. I'm usually pretty good with, life's hits and whatever. And right now I know I'm more sensitive, and it's just, I hate it because I have guilt about it. So I have guilt for feeling sensitive and guilt for feeling, as emotional as I do about things. And that just kind of adds to it. And cause I don't want to be emotional to my fiance, and I don't want to bring people down. It just sucks. But luckily I have in the past, I'd say like week, felt much better. So it just kind of was like a wave that went through, and it was tough for about a week and a half. And I just felt pretty defeated, and yeah. So anyway, I'm glad I'm through that. feeling more like myself. And I know that that's typical during pregnancy. And it's also easy to just worry about all the things that can go wrong and all the, they're just, and toxoplasmosis and, it's just, there's just so many little things. But the truth is it's out of your control. It's out of my control. And I have to let that be. And yeah, it's just, pregnancy is one of those times in life where you have to just realize, like, you can only do your best. And I have to allow myself to relax and know that I am doing my best, and that's all I can do. And so that's where it's at. I'm trying to remind myself that whenever something comes up that scares me, or that I feel concerned about, or that I could take, too hard, I'm just like, it's out of my control, and all I can do is try to, take care of myself and do the best I can. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. And if something happens, deal with it then. Worry about it if it happens. Anyway, so if you're feeling that way, you are not alone. Just want to say that. We had a bit of a scare happen in the past few weeks. I went in for my regular OB appointment, and my doctor said that they found a dark spot on baby girl's heart during her anatomy scan. I just assumed, because I didn't hear anything, that everything was normal and everything was fine, and so I didn't ask. But when I went to that appointment, I said, "Oh, by the way, I didn't ask. I just wanted to verify, like, everything is fine with her anatomy scan." And he was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "I thought they would have called you, blah, blah, blah." So it just was lost in communication. But she had a dark spot on her heart. And he said that in 4 to 7% of instances where they find this on an ultrasound, it can mean, or they find a dark spot on 4 to 7% of ultrasounds. And in children with Down syndrome, they see it on 15% of those scans. And so what it could indicate was possibly Down syndrome. And when the doctor first told me this, when he was first explaining to me the situation, I first thought, oh my God, I was like, my heart all the way up in my throat, because I just thought, could there be something wrong with her health? Like her heart had a hole in it, or, some sort of defect, like something she would have to live with, or could be life-threatening, or that would require surgeries after she was born. And I just kind of like panicked from the moment he started talking about it. And then when he said Down syndrome, I was like, okay, that was just way, way, way easier for me to deal with. It was like, okay, well, like, I mean, we can deal with, and I was like, well, but could it indicate any health problems far as with her heart? And he said no. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was actually relieved to know that what it could indicate was Down syndrome. I was like, because that, for me personally, I just felt like, well, we can deal with that. I mean, if that's something that she has, we love her. We will learn all about Down syndrome, and we'll, that'll just be a path that our life takes, and okay, that we can deal with, and that's, that's okay. It'd be something to adjust to. It would be something for us all to wrap our head around, what, preparing for, but that wasn't really, that's not what's scary. That is not a huge concern for me. It was just something I did want to find out. So he said, do you want me to do further testing to find out whether she does or doesn't before birth? I said yes. Just because I would want a chance to prepare for something like that. And I wouldn't want that question mark to be something that was on the day of delivery. I'd rather be ready. That's just my personality. And so we did a blood test, and he called me. It typically would take 2 weeks, but he was able to get it back within a week, and I was surprised. He called me and just let me know everything was normal. So she has a normal amount of chromosomes, and he had also said on the day he told me that our chances were low, very low, because neither of us have a family history of Down syndrome, and also we are not 35 and older, which gives you a little bit of higher risk for those type of things. So anyway, so we were really, really low risk. So it would have been, chances would have been very, very slim, but it was, I mean, something that they saw on the scan. But he said, like, because ultrasounds are getting more advanced, they're actually seeing that more and more. So yeah, so that has been going on. We're happy to report that everything is on track and normal, and that that we're through that. So anyway, that's all for all the updates, and I will go ahead and show you guys the bump shot. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm wearing black undies, and obviously you can tell that. All right. So that's the belly from the side, and that's belly from the other side. It's really gotten so much bigger. I can't believe it. I'm getting that back crease. I really get that the further along I get. But I was gonna say, so it's up by the rib cage. You can kind of tell, like, where the uterus is just big and round at this point. No stretch marks yet. I can't wait to do a video about that. That's gonna be my next video, because I am prone to stretch marks. I have them on my upper thigh, I have them on the lower part of my back, and a little bit on my butt. And so I thought for sure I would get stretch marks with my first pregnancy, and I was very, very, very diligent about, I did 3 things that I really, really believe prevented them for me. And so I want to share that with you all. And I know some people think, like, well, if you're genetically inclined to get them, then you're just going to get them. And that may be true, but for me, I'm certainly genetically inclined to get them, and I was able to prevent them. And so I believe that it helped, and I just want to pass that information along with you guys also. So that'll be my next one. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I am so excited to have you guys on my journey. There will be lots of videos to come, lots and lots and lots. We've got baby hauls coming. I've got a diaper bag review and what's in my diaper bag coming. We are taking this nursery from a nursery just Evie to a nursery for 2 baby girls, so it's going to transform, and I can't wait to take you guys along on those journeys. And yeah, so thank you so, so much for watching, and I will and please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video, and I'd love to have you part of our family if you're just joining us. So thank you for your time. Blessings your way.